Hi, Glenn Phillips here with Lake Homes Realty and lakehomes.com. Today I want to talk to you about what are 5 common mistakes made by real estate agents at the lake. Whether you're buying or selling, if you understand this, it's going to help you have a smoother transaction. And I bring this up not because, we have expert agents that are very versed and familiar and seasoned, but we do transactions all across the country and work with agents who mean well, but they've gotten into an area that they're not an expert at, and they make these common mistakes unknowingly in many cases. So whether you're buying or selling, or you're an agent with another company watching, here's some mistakes that we see that you can learn from. One of them is agreeing to overprice a lake home when it's being put on the market. I get that as a seller you want to maximize the amount of money you're getting for the home, and that's great, but it's a real problem because those properties tend to sit longer and eventually sell for less money. The idea of, well, let's just test the market. Well, you need to know what that test is and how fast it goes and predetermine that, not just kind of wing it. So that's one of the mistakes we see that leads to sellers getting less money for their property. Missing phone calls. This is elementary, and this is a problem across all of real estate, and we see it at the lake where we're trying to get in touch with agents and their voicemail is full or they don't respond quickly. It's fundamental, and it can be hard. We have lakes, markets, many of them, that are very rural where they don't have cell phone coverage in parts of the areas. So that come and go can be a problem. At Lake Homes Realty, we've actually built some systems to help our agents be sure they don't miss those phone calls because we know how important they are. But many agents have taken a lackadaisical attitude and just go, oh, I'll catch it later. And that's missed opportunity for sellers that are working with them and for the agents themselves. Another mistake we see is really kind of forced on them by certain conditions is agents only market their listed properties locally. They put them in the MLS, and I don't count the fact that it may be syndicated and show up on the big national portals. That's not the same thing because lake is a specialty item, and those get lost among the millions of other properties that are for sale across the country. It can be very hard to sort them out. So, promoting a property for sale locally, could somebody buy? But those people probably already have a lake home. The idea of one buying one to move to upsize or downsize is possible, but the buyer for the property is probably coming from several cities or states away. Very common that we see people even come across country to buy a lake property. So agents make the mistake of, well, I'm just going to promote it locally, put it in the MLS, and hope is not a business plan. That's one of the reasons we built lakehomes.com, was to give our agents the power to have these properties visible across the country, and it works. Number 4, not thinking long-term is a mistake agents make. In primary residential real estate, a buyer that expresses interest is probably going to do a transaction pretty quickly, 60, 90 days, because schools are starting or they'll end up leasing if they can't find what they need to buy. But the lake is a discretionary property. Nobody has to buy one. So it's not uncommon to both have people buy like that, but it's also not uncommon they'll watch on lakehomes.com even for years, talk to an agent, and still be years before they make a transaction. So agents who don't have a system to keep in touch with these buyers who will buy eventually is a mistake if they're only worried about the next new buyer instead of all those that they've been in touch with. Huge mistake, missed opportunity. And then 5th is lacking true lake real estate expertise. I get there's a lure for real estate agents to want to list at the lake because, hey, those tend to be higher price points than what's 2 miles away, 5 miles away, 10 miles away. But if you don't have all the expertise, you're going to not know some of the gotchas. You won't necessarily understand the importance of the positioning, of water regulations, of water depth, of how you get to these properties. Where is the hospital? Because it's not just, you may have to go all the way across the lake. There are all these nuances that impact pricing and value of the home that a lake expert agent is going to be much more skilled at getting a transaction that's smooth and of maximum value for the seller and of a great deal, or the most possible best deal for the buyer. So that expertise really does matter. And if an agent that's interested in getting in this type of, any type of niche, especially real estate, needs to become the expert for themselves. So I hope these are helpful tips, but these are 5 of the common mistakes we see made by real estate agents at the lake. Be sure and visit us at lakehomes.com, where you can find a lake expert agent who can guide you to avoiding mistakes when you are buying and selling. And we have tens of thousands of properties for sale at lakes all across the country. Hope this has been helpful. Have a great day. For more information, be sure to check out lakehomes.com.